take care of you. I will. Hey, even if you got a girl now. Hey, what up, y'all? It's a rainy storm checking in for the moon sign series. For those of y'all, if this is your first time coming in, my name is Araneae Storm. I am a cosmic root astrologer. I specialize in Mars activations as well as North and South Node consultations. So if you're interested in where you've been, where you at, and where you're going to go, in collaboration with the Mars pushing you in the direction that you were to be in this lifetime, make sure you hit me up. I got you. Okay, and if you have any questions while we are going through this series, or if you want to dive in a little bit deeper, and if you want a personal reading outside of the Mars activations and the North and South Node consultations, please feel free to hit me up. You know what I'm saying? AraneaeStorm.wix.com/info. Okay, I got you. So that song that I was singing was by SZA and Dram. And this is the energy that automatically came to me when I was thinking of Virgo Moon, because we are now to Virgo Moon. So that's one song for me. It's called Caretaker. And that's a song I feel like fits Virgo perfectly. Like I say you'll be there. We're gonna move on. Anyway, so for those of y'all, if it's your first time coming in and you're like, oh my God, I just found out I'm a Virgo Moon. Or you're like, oh my God, my homie's a Virgo Moon. Or you just want to know a little bit more about astrology, I got you. So when we're talking about the moon sign, somebody actually been piggybacking off of like talking about the first 3 or 4, whatever, especially if you're a cusper that you meet or you're coming into in this lifetime. Yo, I just lost my train of thought and I'm coming back. Okay, big 3. I'm sorry, y'all. First of all, we're in a Mercurial moon. As I record this, we're in a Gemini moon transit. I have a Mars in Gemini, so if I'm like cutting off and coming back, I know for Virgo moons, you're probably cringing like, bitch, get to the point. I'm here, okay? Don't turn off just yet. I'm sorry. I just lost it and came back. Anyway, if we're talking about the moon sign, or we're talking about the big 3, big 4, we're seeing the rising sign as you're coming in. Like you're basically, he explained it as like you passing down the street and you looking out somebody's house. You know, you're looking, you know, outside of somebody's house. I took it a little bit further and even said that your sun sign is like the inside of your house, how your inside of the home is decorated. And your moon sign is that bedroom space. Your moon sign is the place that, especially for Virgo moon, not a lot of people can get in. You know what I'm saying? But then on the opposite side, once again, it definitely depends on, all of this stuff really just depends on your aspects, what's aspecting your moon. This is just a general, you know, overview of Virgo moon. But for the most part, the home space of the bedroom is very sacred. It's a place where not everybody could come, but once you in, you know, this is the energy that people, you know, that are closest to you know the most about you. This is also the relationship to mother, as well. So yeah, I guess let's go ahead and set away into this Virgo moon. I've definitely started off since the Leo one, and we're going to be moving to Libra and Scorpio throughout this week. But I definitely started off basically saying that I wanted to go ahead and start it off with talking about the relationship with mother first, and then segueing into like, you know, the reading of Virgo moon, or just, you know, the moon sign. So for this particular moon, relationship with mother, relationship with mama, relationship with mommy, you know, this relationship could have went a couple different ways. And once again, like I said, the aspects do matter. So like I said, this is very general. This is a moon sign where mama could have really been something of like a healer, or a nurse, or she could have worked in different kind of service industries, very service oriented. She could have been so service oriented to the fact that it was on her own detriment. And when I say this is like, she could have taken care of everybody else, that sometimes she often forgot to take care of her own self. So this is definitely, you could have seen something in the mama. The mama could have been very critical, very very critical of, you know, the things that you wanted out of life, or the things that you did, or even if we're talking about the moon sign and around the house, like she needed things to be a certain way, or very straight and perfect. And this could have been her energy, very much so a tough cookie, because Virgo is very service-based, DIY, do-it-yourself kind of energy. She could have pushed you to figure things out on your own, you know, because if we talk about Virgo moon, even in the moon itself, this is inward energy. This is hermit energy. She could have sometimes even come off a little cold, or just needed that time to be alone and be recharged and things like that. So oftentimes you probably could have felt like, you know, like she doesn't care, or you're like, I mean, one minute she's cool and the next minute she's like really detached. Like, it's very, you know what I'm saying? Also too, she could have really did a lot of things to really expand. It's a mercurial moon, so she could have did things to really expand your mind, really expand your depth of knowledge. She also could have been a very straightforward, or not even straightforward. She could have been either one of the two, because Virgos tend to be very you know, Virgo moon energy, because it's the moon energy, you can be very direct. It definitely depends on your Mercury sign. You want to look into your Mercury, or you could have been very passive with your emotions. You know, it can go either way. But I noticed a lot of people don't know how to handle, especially Mercury and Virgo, like, because motherfuckers just say what it is. Like, a lot of people can't handle that. So she could have been that too. But she also could have been very supportive in the things that you wanted to really do, and pushed you outside of your own comfort zone to do more, and to go beyond what she did, or what she provided for you. This also could have been a relationship where you seen, you know, your mama not only care and give to other people, but, you know, especially, you know, if she's in a marriage with somebody, she probably could have given way too much, and maybe was a little bit more submissive in a sense, or didn't act on the things that she truly wanted to do, because she was in a relationship that could have been controlling. I'm not saying this is for all Virgo moon people, but this is something that could have played out, or it could have been the opposite of, like, you know, mother being like the head of household. You know what I'm saying? Because even though Virgo, one thing I know about us is, like, me being a Virgo sun, like, you know, you could be either very submissive, and not to say that you can't switch through, or dual through, but, like, you could be either very submissive, or you could be very domineering in a sense of, like, head of household type thing. Like, you want to take care, you know what I'm saying, and things like that, and just make sure things are taken care of. Honestly, it reminds me of Leo moon energy, and I think that's why Virgo comes after Leo, because, you know, Virgo has to learn that from Leo. That's something I'm learning about even myself, being a Leo Virgo. Like, you know, Leo energy, especially Leo energy into Virgo energy, is like, Leo teaches Virgo how to live through the heart and be confident and be able to set proper boundaries to people, you know what I'm saying? And Virgo takes on that energy of discernment after Leo. So I think those are energies that kind of play off of each other, that fire earth duality, fixed fire, mutable earth. But also I think, because if we look to Pisces moon, or Pisces energy in itself being, you know, Virgo's opposite sign, Virgo has to learn not to be so rigid in its emotions and rigid in its thoughts, and be able to not even just take, you know, to move past sometimes taking calculated risk, especially in terms of, like, love, and in terms of, you know, people and things like that. You know, like Scorpio moon, Virgo moon can be very private. Like I said, this has to do with other things that is going on in your chart, but Virgo moons can be very private, or just need a level of that, you know what I'm saying, with somebody else. And you know, Pisces moon is very free and very open in a sense, and knows how to it just kind of goes with the flow of things. So that's something Virgo has to, that rigidness, Virgo has to kind of learn how to let go of that through Pisces. And Pisces is very comfortable being in its moon, so in the moon. So overthinking, anxiety, you know, this is mutable earth. So I feel like Virgo, in a sense, being in its moon sign, I don't feel like Virgo moon is necessarily comfortable here, because Virgo, like processing emotions to Virgo is like, the first thing that's coming to my mind is a computer. And I'm not saying that y'all are robots. I'm not saying that at all. It's just like, I see a computer, like, and it's like, I do not compute. I do not compute. I do not compute. So it's like, when all these emotions or all these like new things start flooding into the computer that it doesn't know, or it's not, you know, it's not well versed on, like, its emotions are very, you know what I'm saying? That's why I really feel like, even though, once again, I don't know if I said it fully, but even though Virgo's technically a feminine sign, or feminine energy, or divine feminine energy, it's very masculine. Capricorn and Virgo are very they get, even though they're feminine signs, they have a very masculine-esque to them. So it's very interesting. So because it's also mutable, and you know, we talk about overthinking and anxiety, it's always on the move, and not even just physically moving, even though it is, like I said, mutable earth, its body is always, its mental is always on the fucking move. So overthinking is a must with Virgo. Not to say that you have to do it, but it's you're very prone to like overthinking things, playing things out in your mind over and over and over again. I feel like for you, Virgo moons, is like, you have to have some type of form of exercise, whether that's you running and jogging up and down the street, or doing some type of meditation or yoga, or some type of boxing. You need, you know, that physical stimulation. You know, you need mental stimulation, but you also need physical. You need to be physically moving your body. All mutable moons, you know, I mean, all signs don't matter, but for real, physical, mutable energy needs to be moving, because it has a lot of energy, and you can really do it over yourself if you just, you know what I'm saying, without really grounding that energy the way it needs to be grounded. Eating clean, eating healthy, you know what I'm saying, like, you need to be able to use food as your healing. I definitely recommend to my Virgo moons, this is something that my sister just pulled out the gate, but Heal Thyself might be a good book for y'all. Queen Afua. Somebody was actually telling me to read this book a long time ago, and it's so funny that it finally came into my life, like, randomly. I'm like, oh shit, I've been hearing about Queen Afua, and yeah, it's crazy. But I definitely feel like, you know, some you know, holistic health healing things would be good for you. Very much so a green thumb, so it can grow its own foods, can grow its own plants. You innately know how to heal yourself, and in turn, as a Virgo moon, you are able to heal other people through your service. Being okay, like, service is definitely key to you, but I feel like you have to understand that it's one thing to be of service to people, but it's another thing when you go way too hard in the paint, Virgo moon. I mean, I'm talking about you give yourself so much that I mean, you give unto yourself so much that you become depleted and you're not able to help people because you just have given away so much. And I understand that service is a part of your life path and it's a part of your journey here on this particular plane. But you got to be able to balance that out with yourself, because if you're not personally right, if you're not healthy, if you're not taking the things out to make sure that you are well taken care of, and I'm not just talking about self-care bubble baths, but like really making sure that your mental is straight, because you have a lot of energy moving through your emotions. And you know, if you're not making sure that that's straight, it's real easy for you to go off the deep end. Really easy for you, your anxiety, you know, to induce other things that aren't there. You know, this is very, I think it's called hypochondriac. It's basically, I think it might be called hypochondriac, when basically you, because you believe things that are wrong with you, they end up happening to you, or not even necessarily that they end up happening to you, but you're just like, oh my God, something's wrong with me, or something's this, and it's like, gee, like, you gotta get up off of that. Like, nah, gee, like, just chill, like, you good, like, don't even worry about all that. Like, you're fine. You gotta make sure that your mental is clear. You have to make sure that your space is clear. Like, Virgo moons, gee, if your space ain't clear, nigga, kiss it all goodbye. You have to make, wherever home place that you are situated in, Virgo moons, you have to make sure that shit stays clean. You have to make sure, and not because you are just not because you have Virgo energy, this your moon, but like, you have to make sure it's clean so your mind is clear. You know what I mean? I saw this quote, and I keep seeing this quote. It's something that we had in the house at one point in time, and then I saw it on Instagram the other day, or I think last night. Basically, godliness or cleanliness is the closest thing to godliness. That's Virgo energy of like, you have to be able to keep your space clean. And even Queen Afua was talking about it in her book. Like, cleaning your space is the closest thing to godliness. It keeps you pure. It keeps your spirit right. It keeps your mind clear. Your heart, your emotions are clear when your space is clean. You feel me? I know I keep repeating it for real. Like, you work harder, and not work harder in a sense where you wearing yourself down trying to avoid your emotions, but you can think clear. You have more clarity. Messages are able to come to you when you have a clear space. Details are very important to you. So if you don't have a clear space, like, shit gonna be all over the place. You know what I'm saying? And you're very intuitive, and in order to receive those psychic and intuitive gifts, your shit gotta be clear. Your mind gotta be clear. And your mind, you know, your space is a direct reflection of your mind. Like, I'm looking at my space now. I just said myself today, I mean, I'm not a Virgo moon, but I was like, God damn, I need to clear my space. You know what I mean? Like, for real. Because, I mean, I'm still functioning. Like, it ain't like that. But, like, you know, just need to make sure that the space is clear before we set it. You know what I mean? Especially if you're doing spiritual work. The space that you're in needs to be clear. That just came through. It's not even on my shit. That space needs to be clear before you do any kind of spiritual work. But yeah, very behind the scenes. I talked about this in the other video that I did for Leo. Like, more so where Leo is like on front, on center stage, Virgo moon is more so behind the scenes, making things work, making things cook. Very much so like the motherly friend. Very much so the motherly land or motherly friends. It's like, oh, do you have everything you need? Are you good? Do you need anything? I could come pick you up. Like, very much so that, like I said, you really need, you need to like heed that. Like, you need to heed the balance between you doing everything for everybody and that energy going and being poured back into yourself, for sure. Definitely when it comes to relationships, can be very monogamous. Not to say that all Virgo moons are like this at all, you know. I'm not saying this. Like I said, it has everything to do with the rest of your chart, but I noticed that at the end of the day, a lot of Virgo moons, they want to receive like that reciprocal love. But first they have to feel like they're deserving of that reciprocal love from somebody else. They have to feel like they and it's not even that feel like and it's easier said than done. Like, I'm not sitting here trying to tell you like, oh my, but it's like, you are who the fuck you are, you know? First of all, don't let nobody change that for you, in you. And know that the love that you give out, you are just as valuable to receive that shit back. So allow that energy of love and respect and service that you give to so many different people to come back to yourself. You need it. Even if you just like act like, you know, you okay without, you need that. You need to be around people, and not even just in a relationship, but you need to be around people who see you, who love you, who cherish you, who honor the things that you do, even if it's the most smallest things. They need to honor that in you. And if they don't need to be around you, because they're not doing anything but taking away from you. And if you're feeling depleted around people, or you're feeling really tired after you leave people, they're not for you. Because you pick up, like Pisces, you pick up on that energy. You know what I'm saying? You discern, you know what I mean? You're the harvest, you know, the harvest moon of the zodiac. So you know when things ain't for you, Virgo moon. This is the editors, this is the directors, this is the researchers, you know what I'm saying? It's able to really, like I said, pick out the minute details. You know, if this is through writing, this could be through film, this could be through anything that has to do with media, but you're very much so able to pick out and, you know what I mean, and give it a fresh perspective, you know, and you have an eye. Definitely, this is the type of energy that has an eye for things. And overall, you know, you need routine, Virgo. You need, and I'm not saying that your routine has to be, you can switch up your routine. I know it's mutable energy, so don't feel like you have to do the same shit every day, because first of all, spice up your life. But, you know, you need that. You need a healthy routine that keeps you on track, that keeps you grounded, that keeps you, you know, passionate and moving forward and creative. You know what I'm saying? That's the vibe. That's your vibe. So, yeah, yo, this has been my analysis of Virgo moon. Once again, for those of y'all that don't know, it's your first time coming in. It's a rainy storm. Whew. You can find me on all social media, araneastorm.wix.com/info. And yeah, we're going to move on to Libra moon and cap it off once again, like I said, with Scorpio. So, I'll see y'all in the next one.